Man, we good. Yo,
Okay.
welcome. Look, they don't even want to wait for the show to start. They just been running their mouth before the show officially starts. But today on Black Cajun Sports Talk, my name is Del Greco Wilson. And I have my brothers. I have my brothers on the program. So if it feels a little looser than usual, chalk it up to, y'all getting a peek at the family dynamics here. Over the past 6 or 7 years, I watched Nick Myles and Rod Harrison build. Let me put these on so I can see something. I watched these guys build national level programs at the scholastic and the prep levels. And it's my pleasure to bring you, the listening audience, two of Baltimore's finest basketball minds, St. Francis Academies, Nick Myles, and Mount Zion Preparatory School, Rod Harrison. How y'all guys doing?
Visions got me. I can see reality, wanna be free. Yeah. I can talk again, shit to you, but everybody needs someone to be real. Yeah. I don't lie. Truth, the truth don't.
It's always great to talk to Del, man. Hey, I know, man, we don't got Frank Martin budget, man, so our camera's a little off, man.
Go ahead with that, Nick. I'm going to tell everything on here so the people going to find out, you play 8 away games, all charter flights and all that stuff.
Man.
You carry 80 football players.
Spirit charter. That's our charter flights.
How many games did your football team fly, Mr. AD?
About 3 or 4.
You took every piece of equipment with you?
You gotta play football, man. Come on, man. I'm not messing with you,
took the managers with you, man.
Don't start, man. It's too early to start, Del, man.
See what I'm saying, Rod? He carrying everybody, man. Everybody got to eat, all that, man. Y'all stay. Where y'all stay?
You do it the right way, man. You do it the right way. That's how it's supposed to be,
We play in the city park, Rod. Tell him, Rod, we play in the city park, man. Play in Patterson Park, man.
That's how we was raised.
Well, let me get this out the way. Yo, Nick, how the twins, how your wife, and Rod, how your family, how your missus, man?
Man, everybody's good, well. Man. Thanks for asking, Del.
Yeah, mine too, man. We just holding it down, waiting for this thing to blow over, man. But everybody doing well.
Yeah, you got to be careful, man. I know y'all guys anxious to get in them gyms, but you got to be careful. Well, let me start off by asking y'all guys this, man. What did we miss, man? What championships did this quarantine for the coronavirus prevent you guys from winning? Nick, I know you normally pull in about 5 or 6 championships a year. And Rod, I know you like to go up to New England and kick them preppy boys around this time of year. What did y'all miss having to shut it down a little bit early this year? Go ahead, Rod.
We actually made it right to the Elite 8. They actually shut down the National Prep School tournament the day before. We actually lost the day before they shut it down. They actually didn't play the championship game. We lost in the Elite 8 to go to the Final Four. They played the game the following morning, and then they shut it down for the evening games.
So you actually got everything in?
Yeah, I actually got everything in right to the door. But I squeaked in 18 hours.
What was your record? How many games you played this year?
We were 27-11 this year. Ranked high as, I think we was ranked high as number 8 this year.
All right, Nick, what'd you miss, man?
We played both our championships. We lost MIAA championship. We won the Baltimore Catholic League championship. We was right at Alhambra. We was at the Alhambra Catholic Invitational when we found out, and they canceled that.
So you missed the Alhambra?
We missed Alhambra, and if we won Alhambra, done well on Alhambra, we could have got a chance of going to Geico. So, but we got a chance to play our championship, so I can't be mad because we actually got a chance to compete in our league championships.
All right, all right. Now, over the past couple of weeks, I had some of the top coaches in this country on this show. We had Pat Chambers. He won the NIT. He was top 20 most of this year. I had Frank Martin and Bruce Pearl. Both of them have been to the Final Four in the last, 3 years. And we had Kevin Brodus on yesterday. And we know how Kev works. He's one of the best recruiters in this whole thing we got. So I've had a good view from the coaching perspective, especially at the college level. Now, Nick, you have one of the top, I would say maybe one of the top 2 or 3 traditional high school programs in America. And now your kids actually go home at night and they actually go to school during the day. You know, some of them other programs, it's a little different what they're doing. You have a real high school. And Rod, you built one of the top programs in the nation from pretty much scratch, man. And you guys regularly place anywhere from 6 to 10 guys a year on the full scholarship spots every year, year in, year out.
Right.
What's most impressive to me, and I've seen it up close, is that these kids really aren't the ones that are on those middle school lists and the freshman lists and the sophomore year lists when you get them. You guys develop these kids in your programs. So the question I have for you is, what are some of the most important or key factors to building a program that can compete at and you know, Nick, you rumbling the DC boys, the Baltimore Catholic League, right? Like I said, you go up to New England, you guys are hanging in there. How are you guys able to do this? What's most important in getting these guys ready to compete at that level as individuals and have your team ready to compete at that level?
I think you got to put education first. You know, you got to have an educational component. The parents really want to make sure that you care about their kids, you know, academically, and want to, you know, push them forward academically. And then you got to get kids that want to compete, man. We, you know, me and Rob went to high school together. We're from the great city of Baltimore. And Baltimore is all about toughness. So when, you know, you play these national events, we're not necessarily the biggest, we're not necessarily the strongest, but we're going to be tough. We're going to compete hard. And we just want to play old school Baltimore basketball, man, you know. Anytime I watch Mount Zion, I watch Rod, it's like watching ourselves like a mirror or watching St. Francis. Just, you know, tough basketball, guys that want to compete, tough practices, and just, you know, the nation that will play anybody anywhere. And if you had those kind of, you know, things in your program, I think you had major success.
I mean, I seen you take a couple kids from Baltimore to UMBC.
All kids from Baltimore, not a couple, the whole team from Baltimore.
I mean, but they ain't. I mean, I'm saying they from around the way, man. You ain't flying these guys in from New York City. They ain't coming from Alabama and Florida. And you went up against Oak Hill, and you could probably find 9 out of their first 10 guys on the top 100, top 150 list, and y'all spanked them. I mean, it was a spanking, man. Talk to me about that. You guys just don't care about the names on the chest and all that stuff?
Well, they actually do care. I mean, I think Baltimore is one of the most there's so much talent in Baltimore, and it's just untapped. People just don't know the level of talent and the level of toughness we have in this city. And my kids, you know, any kids that come to me, they say, Coach, we want to play anybody. We want to go everywhere, and we want to show that we want the top programs in the country. Just a testament to the seniors. You know, I had 3 seniors who, you know, 2 of them been with the program all 4 years, and Jordan Toles and Ace Baldwin. Jamal West transferred in his junior year. And, you know, those guys are all 3 of those guys, you know, are under recruited guys, you know. They was underranked nationally. And this season kind of showed how good those guys really are. And next year will too.
Now, Rod, at the prep school level, I watched you do it, man. I mean, you started with you got a little crib across the street from your crib, grabbed a couple dudes, and, you know, got a van and said, hey, man, we going to do this. We going to rumble. And a few years later, you got a beautiful scenic landscape campus down there in the county. You got your own gym.
Hey, Dale, Rob moved out the hood, man. He ain't in the hood.
Yeah, he moved out. He bougie, man.
George Jefferson. He did
Yup.
George Jefferson, man.
They
Moving
said
on
they
up.
play that song on the recruit visits. They play that moving on up. You know?
Yeah, moving on up, man.
Oh man, look, it's been a blessing, man. Like we looked at Baltimore City beginning and asked what it didn't have. You know, Nick and them had I was at Dunbar, Nick and them had St. Francis. Really ain't wanted to do a high school perspective, but still give our kids opportunity to come and take advantage of some of those kids that need that extra year to develop. So that's when the prep school thing was born. We went to Mount Zion Baptist Christian School, pitched the idea to them. They was in love with it. So they were cool with handling the academic piece. We had to make sure that we handled the living quarters. So it was a blessing that I owned a house across the street. So it made it a little easier. That's when it started. But, it's been a journey. We've been blessed along the time to move into a 64-acre campus in Lanham, Maryland.
Wait. Say that again. What you got down there, man?
64 acres, Dale. You heard it right. 64 acres. Hey, Dale. I got a 6-block campus on Tate Street, man. He got 64 acres.
Talk about.
They say if you do it right, man, blessings come from the sky, man. So we received our blessing because we
I
grinded
talk
so
about
much.
you guys all the time, man, and it's really good that people get to put a face with the names. But these two dudes right here, they grind hard, but they also, they like the finer things in life, man. Don't get it twisted, man. So right now, how have you over the last 5 or 6 years, you really become known as this prep school that's outside of New England, but plays at that level that people associate with the New England prep schools? Was that your objective once you got underway?
It was always the objective was always to help kids go to school, but we wanted to do it on the highest level. I mean, as we know in this country, if you're not playing at that highest level, if people don't look at you in that regard, your kids get passed by. So if they got top 100 kids and they already pegging that they going to Kentucky or Duke, and I got kids that I know that can compete on that level, we're going to play them. Like Nick said it early on, we're going to play anybody anywhere. When we beat Bruce, everybody thought that game was going to be a blowout until it went off, and we wound up beating them 2 years straight. So, it was just one of those things. Like once we figured out how the levels of prep school work, we wanted to achieve the highest level. I mean, the dream is to be just as good or not, or even better than those top prep schools in the country.
Well, both of you guys, y'all know a lot of the people that are going to watch this are Division III, Division II, JUCO head coaches and assistants. And it seems that your incredible level of success is almost hurting you in that at this point in time, we don't have any real problems getting A10, SEC, Big East coaches in either one of your gyms. But it's the 6th, 7th, 8th man on your teams that we all know could play at certain low D1s and definitely high D2 programs. And we have a hard time convincing them guys that they should come and recruit you guys, I think, because they're a little bit intimidated. They don't want to walk in the gym and see Patrick Ewing in the gym. They're like, why am I here? They don't want to come in the gym and Jay Wright is in there. So why don't you extend an invitation right here, right now, to these D2s and these low D1s and these D3 guys and JUCO guys to come and see the kids that you have in your program?
Absolutely. I mean, me and Nick was actually just talking about this other day, to try to figure out a way to, to bring those guys in so they're not intimidated about the success that we're having. So we welcome all coaches. It don't matter what level. I'm speaking. I'm quite sure Nick feel the same way. Our biggest goal is to get kids in school. So long as these kids are going to school, we have kids that can serve as coaches on every level. So the invitation is out there now.
Nick?
Being a former Division II kid myself, I'm a Division II walk-on. People just don't understand how good Division II basketball is. And like our goal is education and the better making of young men. So, like you said, we get a lot of high majors and mid majors all the time. We even get a lot of low majors, but Division IIs. Baltimore is a great place to be for Division IIs. We only have one Division II school in the DMV area. One. Bowie State is the only, Division II in the division.
Well, UDC.
Oh, UDC. I'm sorry. You got Bowie State and UDC, and you have two in the. I'm talking about Maryland. UDC is DC. We got two in the state of Maryland, which is Bowie State and Frostburg State. So it's an untapped market, and there's a lot of places where some kids will be very successful on a Division II roster. So that's something that I think a lot of top high schools and the top prep schools in our area want to expand, getting more Division IIs, JUCOs, and Division IIIs to come see our guys.
And all you coaches out there, I can say from personal experience, and any of you that have called me about this, I'm not real big on on the long song and dance and all of that stuff. If these guys think that a kid really can help you, they will convey that to the kid and to the parent, and they'll do it in front of you and just say, hey, man, you really need to think long and hard about this. Recruiting with these guys doesn't have to be, a 8-week process where you got to do a whole bunch of, whining and dining, man. If you have a spot that can really help these kids further their educational objectives and their abilities can really help your program win games, I can speak for these guys. They're going to make it happen. Am I correct?
Absolutely. we want to put guys in a place where they can be successful, and every kid wants to play. Kids want to be in a situation where they want to play and have some success in their college career. So, I can speak for Ron on this. That's what we want to do. We want to put kids in a place where they can play, have a great college experience in the college career.
So all you coaches, hit me up. I'm the plug down there. I got these guys. Don't worry. I control them, man. Look, both of you guys are very, very familiar with Philadelphia Scholastic basketball. When I invite you guys up, y'all come play in my little event, the Black Cajun Fall Classic. And y'all, y'all bring it, man. Y'all make it exciting when y'all come up. And during the regular season, y'all always willing to come and play. Y'all always try to invite the Philly guys down to participate in what you guys have. Why does that help you guys out? What are some of the similarities and some of the differences that you see between high school basketball in Philly and in Baltimore? Because it's always fun for me to watch it, man.
Well, I'll say this. Philly is like one of the only places in America where I go and I feel like I'm at home. It's tough inner city kids. I think, the same kind of issues we have, in Baltimore, they have in Philly. The same kind of kids we get in Baltimore, they get in Philly. Philly's just a lot bigger, and kids competitive, and we want to represent our brand, I think Baltimore basketball is the best brand in the country.
And these guys
think Philly basketball is the best brand.
It's always an intense matchup, and you tend to have tough guards. So the guard matchups are really interesting because the kids know each other. They know who Ace is, and who Russell, Diggins, Lindgren. Y'all know who, and I love to put them on that court and sell that ticket, get that $10,
man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, Philly is always a place I feel home. And when you get to, tough kids that love their brand of basketball, man, you get an exciting matchup, and the fans want to see it. So we actually doing a Christmas tournament this year, and we got Archbishop Ron and Cardinal O'Hare have agreed to come down, and so we're excited about welcome them two teams to Charm City this year for our Christmas tournament.
Now, both of those coaches is my homie. You got Joe Zaglinski up at Ryan. I'm going to give you the quick and dirty scout report. He got a little guard. He only going to the 11th grade. He's your kind of guard, Nick. Little sleeve. This boy's so tough. He just his stat line will be like 9 points, 11 rebounds, 6 block shots, 5 steals. I can't get him to look at the basket. He just won't. That's not what he does. But this kid is a D1 prospect. He was just a sophomore last year, and his mother and father are very good friends of mine. And his small forward is Aaron Lemon Warren. And Lemon Warren is a mid to high major player, and that'll be an interesting matchup. I hope you should play them, man. Now, O'Hara, all guards. Like Ryan will run out. He's got a forward, but that kid's a football player. Y'all both have done that too. He got a tough kid that plays football, about 6'4", wide receiver type. But his 4 guards this year were really very competitive, very tough. So that's interesting. Baltimore, y'all should be on the lookout. Come see that. What's the date of that tournament, Nick?
It's December 29, 30, Monday and Tuesday, right after the Christmas holiday, right at St. Francis Academy.
All right, good,
You
good,
guys
good
come
looking.
down too, man. We'll let it get us some crab cakes in Baltimore, man. Y'all got the cheesesteaks. We got the crab cakes. Come to Baltimore and get a crab cake.
All right, so
Right.
Rod, what are your observations on the Philly high school basketball scene?
I mean, definitely, man. I agree. I like tough inner city kids, and I think they both bring that aspect to it. You know, you get kids that are faced with a lot of adversity in both of those places, and and it comes out on the court. I don't know what coach that played or understand a game that wouldn't want a tough kid on their team. And that I think that's the determining factor. We always got a saying at Mount Zion that skill takes you so far in the game, toughness wins you games.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look to Philly and I look to Baltimore, that's what I see. I see two cities that, thrive this on toughness and grit and understanding how to get things done. So I love both towns. Like Nick said, I feel comfortable going to Philly. I sit down and have a cheese steak. I ain't even gotta look over my shoulder. I feel like I'm home.
So these kids, basically, you feel them playing for that scholarship. They need that, man. It ain't like we gonna go if we don't have it.
Absolutely. They grind. It's different when someone gives you something as opposed to when you have to go out and work for it. And I think that's what they do. I think the kids from both of the areas, they come from situations where they gotta play hard. Like their mom and father, their pops and their moms don't have money to send them to college. So
Yes.
they're pushing to get to those places, and this is the tool that they need to do it. So they put their heart out there. So that's what I love about both towns. You get a kid that's passionate about what he's doing, the sky's the limit. He's like a blank canvas. You can mold him to being a young man that he can be for now and for the future.
Now, I've been down to a few of Nick's games. I saw him play against John Carroll when Quickly was there. I watched Mount St. Joe's when they had Sticks. I've been down to see him play against Poly when they had Justin Lewis. And the atmosphere at these games is very, very similar to all you Philly people. It's very similar to what you see if Roman is going against Camden or Wood is playing against Newman. Why do you guys think cities like Philadelphia and Baltimore support high school basketball? Well, let me qualify it. Support good high school basketball the way they do. And what do you think we could do to make it even better and more accessible and highlight the kids even more? Because I really think, as good as it is, I think we just scratching the surface. What do you think it is about Philly and Baltimore that makes them love high school hoops so much, fellas? Nick?
Well, Baltimore, one, we don't have a professional team. So, and everybody in Baltimore is like, you go to some place like where you went to college, that's not Baltimore City. They actually, where you go to school, you got to say Dunbar. They actually where you went to high school. They asked me at Raw, we went to school, me and Raw got college degrees. I say Bowie, they say, Bowie, you're not from Baltimore? No, I'm sorry, I went to Bowie State. I'm sorry, Dunbar. So Baltimore just is that kind of town. It's just all about toughness. It's all about where you went to high school and the high school rivalries. And they just, we love high school basketball. All the debates during this quarantine, every day on Instagram, every day on Facebook is somebody debating about old school Baltimore basketball. With this
high school, not college, not NBA.
No. Would this team be that team? Would this player be this player? Who's the best?
Who was the best? Right.
Every single day. Every single day. I mean, Will Barton did a Instagram live. He stopped doing it, but he did it a couple nights, man. I was on there one night, 3 a.m, listening to them talking about this high school basketball and pretty much, summer league basketball and what's going to happen. So, it's just a town that loves basketball. And I really think we need to do some Baltimore Philly events. I really do. I think the towns can really benefit. I think we need to do it in both places, and we need to do it every year. We can do the prep level and the high school level. So it's something
I love
that we
that.
need
I know Sam Rons would love that too, Rod. I can speak for Sam. I know you love
that's your guy.
play in front of 4,000. Nick, keep it real, man. I was down there for the game against Poly this year, so let me set the stage. We talking about a boy-girl doubleheader, St. Francis and Poly. So before the games start,
it's number
before they
one versus
start,
number two, though. It's number one versus number two. It's private versus public. It's East versus West. So you got all those dynamics.
All the factors in it.
the game is sold out. I go outside. I asked the man, I said, let me go out there and just take a quick picture. He lets me go out. The game is sold. It's no more seats. The line is wrapped around the gym still. And they slowly trying to figure out a way to let everybody in and keep the peace. And that gym holds what, about 4,200 people?
Something like that, though.
And Morgan don't get it for their games. And I love Brodus, but he don't get it like that. So Baltimore, and we do the same thing up here and say we're not smart like y'all. Y'all use your bigger venues. They just pile 1,500 people on top of each other up here in these little high school gyms. So we do have to work that out. Rod, what you think it is?
Oh man, I think it's a number of things, man. I think it's the parents that came through before, like Nick said, that played in that era of basketball, and their kids are coming through now, and they want to see their kids being successful, and it's Baltimore is like a big basketball town. Like, I don't know how Philly is on this, but it was almost like passing down history when we came through Dunbar. Like, you walk through there, you knew the guys that played in the early 70s. You knew the guys that played in the early 80s. Like, they would even come back to the school sometime and talk. Or in the summer leagues, they would have, they would come up and sit and watch the games and see what the new talent is. So, I think to speak to that level of basketball, I think it's more. I think to promote the kids more, I think that it would be better if, like some of you do, live stream all the games, live stream all the games. Bring in, like, have a summer league for a weekend where Philly come up to Philly and play. The Baltimore schools come up there, y'all have it in the school, and then vice versa. Have those competitive places where these kids can actually get in there and really get at each other. And also make sure that the developmental stages are there, because a lot of kids now, aside from a few high schools, are developing kids. I mean, you said it earlier in the show. You were talking about, we don't get 5-star kids and top 100 kids, but the development piece is there, so our kids have that ability once they go through the program to compete with these top 100 kids or these 5-star kids.
We lost your video feed. Oh, it's back.
I know it's coming back. Yeah, someone clicked in. So, I think there's a whole bunch of elements that we could do to make things better. Definitely live stream it. Definitely get it out to the coaches, similar to the platform you have with Black Cajun. Just making sure that it's pushed, because a lot of times our kids go unnoticed because the right person is not saying their name. That don't mean that they're not good enough, but if these writers are not saying this kid is good, he goes unnoticed, and then you get a situation like Obadiah Toppin. Now let's
talk about that. I want to relate it to my viewers up here. You had Sean Lloyd, you had Jared Armstrong, you had Lorenz Thurman, you had Philly guards come down there. You came this close to getting Charlie Brown, man. It was this.
Myles killed that joint. I know he killed that one. I had Pops in the fellas. Myles didn't get out the car. I said, it's over with.
You got a Philly boy, Dave Butts, on your staff.
Right.
Let me ask, is Mount Zion on his way to just being like a Philly prep program? Sam got to watch his back or what, man? What you doing?
We love that Baltimore grit, baby. You ain't gonna never be Philly. Matter of fact, I didn't check your Dave Butts said he about to change his phone number to a 410 area code. So I don't know. I might be stealing some of your Philly guys that go to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying?
Man, they're gonna put Butts out of Philly, change his number, man. Hey, Butts, if you watch this interview, man, stay with 215. They're gonna bar you out of Philly, Butts.
Butts ain't from the DMV now. He say he ain't from Philly no more.
Oh, man, they gonna bar him out, man. If that number don't start with 215, they're gonna bar him out, bro. Y'all ain't gonna be able to go back to Philly, man. Butts better not do that. 215, Butts. Keep the 215 number.
Yeah, but definitely, man. Go ahead.
Talk about, because, talk about Obi Toppin. Talk about your program, your schedule, what some of your alums have done at the college level, man, and the
Oh
professional level.
man, I mean, Obi is one of the rare situations that happen in on any level. You know, he's a kid that came to us with nothing. I think he had one JUCO offer leaving high school. I saw the kid play maybe once or twice, and I was like, "There's no way." Like, all right, he wasn't big and strong yet, but all the things that he could do, he did. You know, he was dunking the basketball. He was he was uh he was running the floor, had great hands. You know, was pushing the situation. He was doing everything he did in college now. But when we had the version of Obi, the young man. The world got the version of Obi being a man.
Mm-hmm.
So the transition to college was like, he put on 20 pounds with us, but then he put on another 20 pounds.
Did you have him 1 or 2 years?
Just 1 year.
And he went
Just
from
1 year.
nothing to the National Player of the Year?
Man, he had Minnesota. He had leaving us. He had, excuse my French, he had a bunch of stuff on the ticket. But chose Dayton because of the developmental phase that he wanted. He wanted to go somewhere where he can continue to get better. He didn't want to get lost in the shuffle, so he chose Dayton for that reason. And yes, 24 months later, he won 4 out of 5, National Player of the Year awards. So, we got a couple other guys, man, that just, went to college. You got Cesar De Jesus down in UCF. We got Tariq Owens that was out that was at St. John's that actually transferred to Texas Tech.
He was on that Final Four team, right?
Yeah, the championship team, towards his ankle came back. That's the toughness, They'll play the game with ankle was almost broke, but he was actually in the gym the other day working out because he was home from the summer, home because of the corona situation. So he came up the gym and got some shots up. So,
I saw Sean Lloyd at a game recently, and I said, man, I followed you because you really went through Mount Zion. I would look for the Southern Illinois box scores for 4 straight years, man.
Yeah.
He made it real clear. He's like, that's my guys, man. Y'all looked out for Sean, man.
Yeah, man. Look, I ain't stepping on nobody's toes. Everybody told me Sean wasn't gonna make it. He wasn't gonna qualify. This, that, and the third. We looked at the grades and everything. Sean put the work in, got qualified. He got Southern Illinois. He had a great career out there. He actually overseas playing pro. He actually playing pros overseas. He probably was home because of the corona thing, but he actually got a contract. I ain't sure what country he was in, but he was playing pro basketball over there last time I talked to him.
How many games you play a year, right? Roundabout?
Between 35 and 40 games.
Where are they mostly? Do you travel far?
Up and down the East Coast, New England. We go south as probably North Carolina. I think this year we might go over to like Ohio and stuff like that. But we're, East Coast basketball. I mean, it's the best basketball out there. And there's no brand of basketball like we bring. This DMV area, the Philly area, the New York area. If you can't find a kid there, I don't know what to tell you. The brand of basketball is different. You get kids that come over from the West Coast, they're totally not used to competing on that level. So, it's to me, we right where we need to be as far as this prep school basketball in New England, between Virginia, playing the Virginia schools, the Maryland and the Pennsylvania schools. We do well right in this corridor.
I know a lot of the Philly boys always in your gym. I know Temple, St. Joe's, LaSalle, they all come down. St. Joe's made a real run at one of your boys, right? In Geeson? How you pronounce his last name?
David Geeson, yes.
Yeah.
Made a real run at him. No, they definitely they like him. David is a unique player. David's one of those players that has the Obadiah factor. 6'9", move like he actually got a little more guard skills than Obi has. He can shoot the ball, he can handle the ball, he can pass the ball, he can finish around the rim. He's one of those kids that can take the ball off the rim and start to break and make decisions out of it. So I would definitely look out for David in the next couple of years. He continues development at Virginia Tech. I think he'll become a great player.
Where are some of your other kids going this year?
Syracuse, Woody Newton, Otis Frazier. We're in the talks with Michigan, Georgia, George Mason, James Madison. He got a host of mid-major that already offered him. So, few kids signed D2 this year. Shit, we got a handful of
Are
them,
they
bro.
ready? I mean, they standard of living gonna go down if they leave Mount Zion and go to Michigan, man. I mean,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Michigan only got 56 acres, man. They got 63 at Mount Zion. We ain't gonna forget that number, Dale. 63-acre campus, man.
It's 64, bro.
I'm sorry, George Jefferson. My bad. I apologize.
No,
all
man.
right, now Nick, a lot of Philly guys they become very very familiar with St. Francis over the past 5 years. You know, you sent Kirk up here, Kirk Lee to Drexel. He got off to a great start before
Blazing.
things went left with him and Spiker. I don't know what that was. Daquan Bracey, he just finished up a nice run at Louisiana Tech. Ace Baldwin is pretty much a household name up here. I mean, people know Ace, and he's come to the city almost every year.
They get to see him 3 times, right? They
Yeah,
play St. Joe's
and I
Saturday.
throw him in the mix, man, so they know
They
him.
supposed to know
three
who
times
he is.
next
They
year.
supposed to know. One of the toughest guys ever fuck. He's one of the toughest guys ever walked through Baltimore City.
Yes, they know Ace
You gotta
Baldwin.
know him.
So it's no real secret that St. Francis is one of the best high school programs in the country. Now, personally, I base my assessment off what I've seen myself. You know, I've been in the practices, I've been in the locker room, I've been at the games. You know, what is St. Francis basketball really all about, Nick? Explain to the people what you're trying to accomplish there.
Just trying to accomplish back a program, man. I grew up, you know, I started from me and Rod upbringing, man. Me and Rod been close since I was 10 years old. We started in Oliver Rec. And Oliver Rec under Bucky Lee was a program, you know. The Rod played was like 2-3 age groups over top of me, you know, a couple years older than me. But it was a family, it was a program that you grew up to, and you grew up watching the older guys. So the same thing with St. Francis basketball, you know. Before Ace came, he watched Kirk and Day Day. And now his turn. And now, you know, you'll have the next kid and the kid after. So just trying to develop a program. All the guys come back in the summer and they work out. You know, they always have a place to come and call home. And the young guys know the old guys and the old guys know the young guys. So pretty much, like I said, back to my youth days, you know, up at Alva Rec and, you know, my high school days at Dunbar High School. You know, I was blessed to see what a program, you know, is supposed to be about from top to bottom. And had the dream of building my own at St. Francis, and St. Francis was a powerhouse before I got there. Coach Wells is one of the most historic coaches in Baltimore basketball history. You know, William Wells. So I just want to continue what he started and keep it on the level. We've been blessed to, you know, be able to do that.
Not very many guys are their own bosses, though. See, you the AD and the head coach.
I ain't the principal.
Well, come on,
I ain't the
man.
principal, Dad. I got a principal and a president, man.
I'll work that out. I'll be your agent next go round. We get that on your job description too.
I ain't the principal. It's a real school, though. I don't got a school with just me. With traditional high school, I got bosses there.
Talk about wearing the AD hat and the overall athletic program at St. Francis. How many students do you have in the building overall?
We blessed to have 280 students, real small high school. And just our football program
is ranked where?
They finished up 3rd in the country.
Do you play you play any local games this year? It was kind of a hot story about a year ago when they all refused because you was giving cats concussions and broken legs and all that.
You know what now? There you go. No, we didn't have anybody from the city of Baltimore players. So
they still won't play you, Nick?
We actually independent. They made us go independent, so we play independent schedule.
Now, before you made your recent hire, didn't they used to whoop on you like that?
When we started out, listen. When I first got the job there, I'll never forget this, and I always go back and tell this story. We played 7 away games. We was 7 homecomings. They was having homecoming in September to play us. Who the world had homecoming in September, man? You ever heard that now?
Wow.
We was 7 away games. Everybody's homecoming was us.
Did you cry? Did you go to the paper and say, I don't want to play them? They too good?
No, we just did what you always do at St. Francis, man. we toughed it out. We found the way to compete, and once we did, I guess we got a little bit too good. I never understand what too good is. I think everybody play a competitive sport or do anything competitive wants to win.
Did you see it coming? Like, did they tell you, did they say, Nick, man, I don't know if I'm going to keep playing you, or did they just all have a meeting and just say, we're not playing them no more?
Man, it was one email. But I'll give you this. They had to have a meeting because one of the ADs, who I got a relationship with, gave me a call, and it kind of caught me out of the blue. Because when they told us they wasn't going to play us, it was June. Anybody know about putting the football together?
Schedule's made.
You start practicing in August.
Yes.
The first games, and you got 2 games in August. We in June, and we like, what are we going to do? And that first year, we had to put the independent schedule together. We had to play the Canadian Bowl. We played like 5 Canadian teams. Man, only teams that would that we can get to play. So came out of that hole, and we got a national schedule. This year we'll go to Duncanville, who's a national powerhouse. We'll play IMG.
Woodrow Wilson coming down there, ain't they?
Huh?
Woodrow Wilson coming down there.
Woodrow Wilson from New Jersey.
I'm going to tell you now, that's my man, Preston Brown. He told me to tell y'all, they bringing it, man.
Hey, listen, man, we love it. We love it now. We love it. It's just like anything, man. We love it.
Dell ain't learned nothing from Baltimore yet, man. We don't duck nothing, man. We stand out in the front and fight. That's how we get down.
Yeah, we love it. We played St. Joe's Prep a couple years ago from Philly. That was a good game at University of Maryland. I wish that it started lightning. The game ended because of lightning, but that was a great game. They do a good job at St. Joe's Prep.
They do, and they not like you. I don't want to give people the wrong impression. Y'all do a good job, but your school is in the community. It's a community-based school.
That's the best place to be, man.
It ain't no big fences. It ain't no big walls around. It's accessible. You owe pretty much how many out of 52 weekends in a year? How many weekends do you have people playing in your gym, Nick? I mean, it's like a community center. You really embrace Baltimore. You got young kids playing in there, middle school kids playing in there. I really appreciate what you do down there in that region.
Well, it actually is a community center, Dale. The building was it was a state of Maryland land grant, and it was built as a high school gymnasium and a community center. So when you say it is a community center, it actually is a community center. So we got to be based around community events. So out of 52 weekends, I would say 49, 48.
Yeah, something's going on in St. Francis.
This is the most with this Corona situation, COVID-19. This is the only time I've seen the gym pretty much empty, in the last couple years since I've been there. So
I don't want to get called out now. Let's talk about your girls because they have done a tremendous job. Who's the coach on the girls' side?
Jerome Shelton.
How they been playing?
Jerome Shelton is one of the all-time winningest coaches in Maryland history. He got his 600th win this season. He's been there, coach probably been at 28, 29 years. Hey, Dad, let me tell you the story, man. We 17th in the country, right? Now everybody giving us, congratulatory things this year. We was a third-ranked team in our building. My girls was 15th in the country.
And boys, the football team was what?
Football team was 4th. Girls basketball was 15th. We were 17th. And, Angel Reese is the best player in the country. It's hands down. It's not even
hands down.
It's not close. It's not close. I don't know. I've never seen a little girl that they got
UConn.
Yeah, I've never seen her. But listen to me. When I saw Angel Reese freshman year, we was playing some team from playing in Geico in New York. She was a freshman. I was like, man, she had a great freshman year. When she had 21 and 20 on ESPN, I said, man, this girl, she's different. She's different.
I was watching that game. I was like, who the
what
hell
freshman
is that?
you get 21 and 20
in a big game?
She's so confident and mature. She understands her responsibility in that program. She understands what she represents for girls basketball in Baltimore. I really like how she carries it, man. I wanted her to go down with my homie, though. Yeah, South Carolina.
Hey, hold up, Dale. Before we get off this girls' basketball topic or women's basketball, Baltimore won a claim. We got the Big Five Player of the Year. It's from the Charm City of Baltimore. Mia Davis is she's a St. Francis alum, right? And she's the Big Five Philly and Quad Player of the Year. I want to let y'all know that.
That's big time up here.
That's big time. Stole one in Philly.
Yeah. Yeah, tell all the Philly boys and Philly girls. That's how y'all say Philly boy.
What year is she at Temple?
She's a junior. She's coming back for a
So
senior
she
year.
got one more. All right.
Yeah, she's
all
gonna
right.
be American. She's shooting for a conference championship, American Conference Player of the Year. And I like the sound of this. I want her to be Big Five, Philly Inquirer Player of the Year 2 times in a row, man.
All right. Well, look, the NCAA, man, they doing a lot of shifting and changing. The landscape is becoming really different than it has been all of our lives. For example, they made it clear that they're going to do away with this year in residency stuff. Kids going to be able to transfer, change teams, and just put that uniform on as soon as they get on campus.
Have they voted on that yet, though?
It's coming. The only issue is, will it be enacted
May
this
30th,
year
May 20th,
or the
something they said,
following
right?
year? In May, they're going to vote.
Okay.
So even if it's next year and not this year, it's still coming. My question is, how do you think this is going to change college basketball recruiting? My suspicion is that these guys are going to look at, even like the all CIAA team. If you're a freshman or a sophomore and you first team all CIAA, you're going to have opportunities to move up to low D1, maybe even mid-major. If you all MEAC or all CAA or all rookie team in those leagues, you're going to have a chance to move up. How do you think this stuff is going to change basketball recruiting, and how will it impact the opportunities that are immediately available for your kids, the high school and prep school kids?
I think it's going. I think it's going to like. To me, it's a two-edged sword. It could either hurt college basketball or it can help it. You get some kids that are in situations that, they may have took a lower level offer because, they didn't get recognized like they supposed to. So that may help those kids. But I think for those kids that are already on that level that are transferring now and got to transfer back, I think it really hurt I really think it hurt the college team because we've been talking about on this line about just tradition and building programs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how could you get a program when you swapping out players every year?
Straight free agency is what we're talking about, man. Straight free agency.
Yeah, so you got those guys like Duke and Kentucky that does it the way that they've been doing it on high school players, bringing in the right guys. They're gonna dominate the spectrum like they continue to do because they're gonna keep doing it the way that they supposed to do it, and they're gonna have all the other guys on the other levels, swapping players out every year. So, I don't think it's a great idea, but I don't think it's a bad idea. And I do think it will hurt some of those high school kids that don't play in big markets that are trying to get recruited. They may would have got that MEAC offer or that CIAA offer. I think it'll hurt them because they'll take a guy that's not playing, at Michigan and bring him down as opposed to giving this high school kid a shot. So, yeah, definitely.
Nick?
If I was NCAA, the only way I would allow a kid to leave if the coach leave, and play right away. I'm big on tradition, and I'm big on.
You wouldn't change the rule then. You would have to sit. You would keep the sitting in place.
Yeah, because you want these kids to get a college experience. At some point, what percentage is going to play professionally at any level? Maybe 5, 10%. So for the other 95%, the masses, you want them to have a college experience. Know how to work through adversity so they can be ready for the work world. So I just think free agency of things not working out, you just running and moving. I've never been a fan of it. I've been a fan of working through the process, working to get better, fighting through adversity, and pretty much making the best out of the situation. Like Ross says, it's really going to help. It's really going to hurt some of the lower recruited kids because they may not get the opportunity that they would have got. So if a coach leave or take another job, I think the kid should be able to leave. But other than that, I think that, if the kid decides to transfer, sit out, pretty much come a part of that college culture, and then play the following year. I think they should keep the rule. But I'm only one person.
Well, how do you stop them from recruiting in the line? Like now as a coach in the layup line, you can recruit.
Yeah, you at the handshake on the other team. Handshake line. You tell a kid, look, man, hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a coach to come to my game and watch me play. He say, no, man, I gotta watch these two colleges play. We looking at this kid. Right. You're gonna have college coaches for the college game, man. It's gonna be the Wild Wild West.
It is gonna be. But maybe it'll settle in after a year or two. That first year, everybody's going to think they can better their own situation.
Hey, Dale, you're a numbers man, Dale, right? I'm a transfer portal guy. When the transfer portal first opened up, it was 200, 250. It went from 200, 250. The following year, 350. The following year, last year was like, damn, it's over 500 people. It's over 700 kids this year, Dale.
It's only 351 Division I teams.
It's over 700 kids in that portal, Dale. It's gonna be 1,000 kids next year. Remember when you had it first? 1,000 kids trying to transfer. That's ridiculous, Dale.
Well, because they know they can do it. Yeah, because they know they can do it. That's what makes it so hard. Like, now kids don't want to, like Nick was saying, go through the adversity or fight through a situation where, all right, I might only be playing 8 minutes this year, but if I work my tail off, I might make, 20, 25 minutes next year. They just like, all right, I don't like what it is. It ain't what I thought it was. I'm out.
Yeah, as a freshman.
And I'm not
Right.
against transferring. I think in situations transferring is warranted. But to me, I want these kids, to get a college experience. So when you transfer and you don't have to play that first year, get the college experience. Become a part of the college culture. Just don't go to college to play basketball. Life is a lot bigger than basketball.
Well, Rod, you mentioned Duke and Kentucky, and you think that particular rule might not really harm them that much. But what about the new NBA Professional Pathways program? The kid Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd is one of y'all boys, ain't he?
He's a Baltimore guy. I actually grew up with his mother. So
don't go there, man.
No, she's a little older than me, but we definitely grew up in the same neighborhood.
But these guys are taking advantage of that $500,000 program that the NBA and the G League have put together, and they're hurting Auburn, they're hurting Michigan.
They're not hurting no schools, Dale.
Well, they had them.
Dale, what about minor league baseball? What's the difference? So why can you go professionally in baseball? You don't say they hurting these schools in baseball.
You don't think the school would be better off with Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd?
I mean, they were better off as a
I'm
team.
I'm not saying that, Dale. If a kid, listen to me, I got college degrees, multiple. You have college degrees, multiple. We're all got college degrees, multiple. Ain't none of us make $500,000 coming out of high school.
Nobody.
We're not making it. So if these kids can make $500,000 out of high school, it's the same thing as signing bonuses with baseball. Those kids get as much money as they can immediately. So if you can do it in other sports, if you can do it in golf, why not be able to do it in basketball? It's the same thing. I never understood the NCAA to have different rules with different sports.
Because you know why they have rules for basketball.
Because they make a lot of money.
So much money off of it.
Yes.
Right. That's why football don't fall under that umbrella because those they
we know the real
controlled.
reason, but if they claim they're a traditional nonprofit, right? NCAA is a nonprofit, right, Del Greco?
Yes.
If they claim they're a traditional nonprofit, then you have rules that governs every sport, everybody, just like high school rules. There's no different rules for my basketball team than my football team or my baseball team. We had the same rules.
Nick, let me ask you this, because I think you're dead on. If I'm individual family though, and I'm watching this, do you think more of the top 10, top 20 kids in the nation every year, as long as that program exists? Because you figure they could probably take easily 10 of them and put them in the program, field the team. Do you think you'll see more and more kids doing that rather than going the one and done route?
Listen to me. Here's the things I like about the program. One, I'm a college dude. I'm educational based, but that program gives you $150,000 for your college.
Go to school, yes.
Back. A lot of people don't know that. They haven't read that.
Yes.
Right? Yep. And if you can get a job making $500,000
and still go to school,
I don't know. I don't know how to tell you no. Why would I tell you no, Del Greco?
Well, because some of the colleges may be able to get close to that. That ain't above the table. Hey, man, I've heard things, man.
Well, listen to me. I'm gonna take the legal money. I'm gonna do things the right way. I'm gonna take the $500,000. I'm gonna go back to school in the summer. Whatever. It's ways in that program you go back to school. I think the basketball kids had the same opportunity as the baseball kids had, or the golf kids have. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Make it an even playing field. So I applaud the NBA, and I applaud those kids for making the right decisions for their families.
I mean, you even dig a little deeper than that. The NBA did it because they were losing so many of our
To
high school
Australia.
kids to Australia, overseas. Them kids
Yes.
run over there getting that money, not being able to watch their development or push their development. So now it was a necessary evil. All right, so since you don't want them to go straight from high school to the NBA, we're gonna pay them to go to our developmental league for a year, and then they can come to the NBA now.
It's
So,
no different minor league baseball, Rod. It's just like minor league baseball.
I agree with everything you said, Nick. I'm for it. You know, at this day and time, you know, the kids, you gotta reward the kids. Like if they were paying kids to go to college, that would be something different. Like if you got money every month, like you were the money that you generate for that university, then the kid may say, all right, I'm gonna still go to Auburn because I know I'm gonna get money to send home to my mother or help pay the rent or whatever the case. But you're telling these kids to walk in and you giving them a stipend per semester that they blow in the first 3 weeks.
Hey, Dad, hey, bro, some of them stipends and some of them schools ain't bad.
They ain't bad. They ain't bad, but they ain't 500,000 though.
No.
I love cost of attendance, and that's what people don't understand. Just like Dale said, that's for the 1% that can get those professional contracts. Let the 1% go, and let the rest of the kids that want to be college kids, let them go to college.
Exactly.
Rod, do you think we're gonna see out of next year's top 20 kids, how many you think would go that route rather than trying a one and done route?
At least 40% of them.
You think we see 8 or 9 of them go there, huh?
Yeah, it's point. Like, think about it. If I'm already pegged to be an NBA guy, why am I going to waste my time sitting in the classroom? Maybe get injured, not get paid for it. I can go be a pro at 18, 19 years old, make $500,000, and then possibly make another, 6 or 7 million over 3 years after that. Why not? The $500,000 give me an opportunity to take care of my family right away. It gives me an opportunity to do the things I need to do, and then I get a chance to step into the NBA career the following year. So I think it's more appealing because most of those kids that are top 20 are already written in as NBA players.
Yeah.
So what's the point of me going to college wasting time? This like it is no different than Kobe and LeBron. They were wrote in. So it was like, okay, yeah. So what's the point? I don't need to go to college. I'm already going to be an NBA guy. Let me go get a check. So I think at least 40% of the guys that they say can do it, I think out of them 40%, I'm gonna do it.
All right. Well, look, I know both of y'all guys very well. I know your families, been in your homes. I would send my son, my grandson, my nephew, play for you guys with no hesitation. I want y'all guys to just take a few minutes and tell, Rod, you trying to get them from wherever. But Nick, I guess you talking to people in the, Baltimore, greater Baltimore vicinity. Why should they consider placing their son's career and education and basketball development in your hands? You go first, Nick.
One, you're going to get an unbelievable academic experience. You're going to get small classrooms, 15-1. You're going to get teachers that really care about you. You're going to get a small school environment where you know everybody in the building. And then athletically, we're going to play the nation's best. I tell my new thing to all the top kids in Baltimore is no need to go out of Baltimore no more. If you name them, we're going to try to play them, and we don't want to play them. We want to beat them. And we building something special, man. We building something special where where people, families, second, like Ace Baldwin's brothers come to me next year. You're getting different generations. That's when you build a program. When you get one Baldwin, and then the next Baldwin to come. So that's what we're trying to build at St. Francis. You get a family environment. It's going to be competitive every day. If you don't love basketball, don't come to me. If you don't want to compete for everything you get, don't come to St. Francis. But what that's going to do is going to prepare you for college. So it's all about, like I said, program and preparation. And we loving what we do every day on Chase Street on our half-acre campus,
Right.
You like that? You like that down? A half? Is that accurate down?
Nah, you probably got about 5 or 6 acres though, Nick. Y'all ain't
5 or 6.
Look,
I think you got about counting the yards and all that. Yeah.
Counting the what? When you got
the yard on the side and all that. Yeah.
Look, they great built. They didn't. Baltimore City didn't knock down 5 blocks for them to build a stadium.
I heard the Ravens gonna practice at his joint, man. I heard.
them 4 acres about to become 10. And they prime real estate. It ain't like he knocking down trees.
Hey, Dev, I
He
don't know what you're
knocking
talking
down
about,
prime
man.
real estate.
I haven't been around that part of Chase Street yet. I don't know where that's at.
Look, Google the pictures of the man cutting the ribbon.
That's a good one right there, Rod. I'll take that. I'll take that. I gotta take that. Google
So, Rod,
the
why should they come to you, Rod? Tell them what
man.
Charlie Brown missed, man.
I mean, same different, man. We, me and Nick, we know we pull from the same pool. We talk a lot, so our views and understandings of what we want out of program are similar. You know, we get a family atmosphere. We want guys that love basketball. We want guys that want to push themselves academically to achieve their goals. We want hard workers. You know, you get a family environment here. Now that we sit on a 64-acre campus, you know, you get a one-stop shop is what I call it. The gym's there, our cafeteria's there, the classroom's there, the dorm room is there. So
We got Wi-Fi and cable, man.
Wi-Fi there, the whole campus.
You got horses and
Wi-Fi
cows
ready,
too,
baby.
Del Greco. Horses and cows.
Got a little stream in the back.
Yeah. Fishing, everything. 64 acres. Fishing pond, Del. Fishing pond.
But the most important part is we are who we are, even without the acres. You know, our program is, you know, proving that we can get it done with less. You know, so like we talked about before, this is a blessing to have this opportunity. But you know, even if we were back in Baltimore, back at that team house, you would still get that same push from us. You know, that same tradition, that same understanding of what we want to get out of our kids, the ability to help them become young men and also be successful basketball players on and off the court.
Well, I appreciate y'all guys, man. And, you know, soon as they get a handle on this virus, man, I'll be down there and holler at y'all, man.
Hey, Del, before you go, Del, hey, Rod, talk about this season opener, man. Me and Rod, we do our season opener together down at his spot. So it'd be good if people want to come down.
Yeah, so we do the Myrtle Chaffin Classic. The Myrtle Chaffin Classic down in Atlanta, Maryland. We haven't determined the date, but it's probably going to be between the 14th and the 15th. Usually that week before, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. I'm gonna lock the date down, but of course, once we
Is
get
that
the
considered
date, I'll make
preseason or regular season?
No, it's a regular season.
Is our season openers, Del?
Yep, we both kick off together. So you know, we get about 25 Division I coaches there. You know, it's throughout the weekend. So you know, we get a 3-day event. A lot of good basketball, a lot of good competition. You know, get a coaches a chance to get a first peek at what we got coming in. With Nick got coming in, you know, so we want to get those D2s, those JUCOs, NAIA schools down as well, you know, because it's a great tournament. You know, we do well. We great hospitality room for my man Del that missed it last year, but you know, we're gonna figure that out this year.
Well, look, we need to get Mount Zion and I need Julian Reese up here, man, going against Taquan Woodley for the Black Cajun Fall Classic this year.
We
gotta make that happen.
We done deal.
Hey, Del, you got to come down to the opening, man. You can take a tour of 64 acres, man. You can, you know, show the listeners what they missed.
I need the golf cart for that, man. I need the golf cart.
Baltimore, Atlanta, Maryland, man.
Wait, Rod. You got the golf court?
Yeah, we got the golf cart, man.
You got rims on it?
We ain't put no rims on it yet.
Oh man,
it's a 4-seater though. It's good enough. We can all go together.
I'm not joking. Pat Chambers got rims on his joint, and he got a radio in it. Yeah, man.
No,
State ain't playing, man. Come on, step it up, right?
I don't want no truck. I'm good. Look, I want to talk to you. I don't need to bump no music.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all guys.
Gotta be good to you.
Always, man. Be blessed, brother.
I don't lie. Truth, the truth on time. I gotta be real with ya. Yeah. I can go on and on, only assuming things, but that would be wrong. But if you give me a clue, I'll be there for you, and it'll be done.